Tonight, I want to chat about how not to hate running. As a running coach, it's one of the questions that I get all the time, and it's something that I think can benefit a lot of people who want to start running. So it's incredibly common for people who are non-runners who, when they want to start running, they really hate it. It's very common to hate running. I think a lot of it, at least for me, I used to think I could never be a runner. I used to not like to run. I wanted to be a runner. I tried several times when I was in high school. Not to date myself too much, but I just turned 33, so I guess I did just date myself. And back when I was in school, PE, I felt like was like the way that PE was organized is a terrible way to teach kids how to run long distance. They essentially made us run as fast as we could for like 2 minutes, do laps around the gym, and that was supposed to prepare us to run the mile timed, which as a running coach now, I know that's a terrible idea to help people start. So I think that there's a lot of misconceptions about what you need to do to be a runner, or even what being a runner means. And seriously, to be a runner, all you have to do is run. It doesn't matter if you're slow. It doesn't matter if you are the last person finishing the 5K. If you are out there, if you are doing any sort of running, no matter what pace, you are a runner. So don't feel bad about your pace or anything else, especially, your weight, things like that. What really matters is that you're getting out there, and that's the most important thing. But if you're looking to become a runner, if you want to try running and you totally hate running, the biggest tip I can say is slow down. And this was the biggest thing that was a big change for me when I was able to start running, was that I thought that I had to go out and run very fast because that's what I was taught to do in gym class, junior high, high school. You have to go out and you have to run hard, and if you're not putting in, if you're not huffing and puffing by the end, you're not doing it right. That's not what you need to do to run. In fact, most of your runs should be at a very easy pace, what we call conversation pace. If you were running with somebody else, you should be able to have a conversation with them. If you're running by yourself, even just try saying sentences out loud. I seriously probably look like a crazy person sometimes when I run, when I am trying to stay at the correct effort level, the correct pace, because I really will talk to myself. But it's a great way to make sure that you are not going too fast. And so if you are still working up in fitness, if you can't do a slow run at, even like a 12 or 11 or even 13-minute mile and still be able to hold that conversation pace, then switch to a run walk. It's a totally legitimate way to train. Galloway method is based on the run walk method, and there are lots and lots of people that follow that. So don't feel bad if you need to take walk breaks. I would say the biggest thing again that you need to do is make sure you're staying at that right effort level. So if even a slow run for you can't hold it constantly, you get too out of breath, then alternate walk breaks. Run 30 seconds, then walk a minute, or walk a minute and a half, and then run 30 seconds. And increase the amount that you're running, the time that you're running every week or two, and you'll eventually work up to the point where you can run for 30 minutes straight, and then you just extend the length of your long run. And that's honestly how I worked up from not being a runner to running a marathon. And that would say is the biggest thing that I can encourage you to do, is to slow down. And then too, when you're doing it, try not to think about how much you're not enjoying it. If you don't like to run yet, don't let your mind go to that negative space. Instead, think about the things that you are enjoying about your run. If you're outdoors, think about how pretty it is. Even if it's in the middle of winter, it can honestly be very beautiful. So try and find the beauty in the small things. And also, I personally, to keep my mind quiet, I like to think about my breathing when I'm running, taking in nice deep inhales and exhales, and that works a lot for me to keep my mind off of discomfort. If I'm doing a hard run, doing some speed work, that sort of thing, to get faster, I will focus more on having good running form and on having good breathing, and that really helps me get through hard runs. If you're starting out, also make sure for comfort that, for example, that you have a good pair of running shoes. Crappy cheap running shoes are just not comfortable. You can get some inexpensive running shoes if you buy last year's model. They're still going to be good shoes, but I would strongly recommend going to a specialty running store to get fitted for a pair of shoes if you want to start running. That's going to make a huge difference. Invest a little bit in some good gear. Get yourself some good moisture wicking socks to make sure you don't get blisters. In the winter, when you're not sweating as much, chafing isn't such a huge deal, but when you can, start to weave in pieces of moisture-wicking fabric as well. But yeah, just do whatever you can to keep yourself comfortable and really just focus again on enjoying the run as much as you can, on keeping at that nice easy pace, especially when you're starting out. There's no reason to go any faster than an effort level, let's say like a 5 or a 6. So again, stay at that conversation pace and just keep going. Honestly, it takes a little while for running not to feel hard and for you to be able to go out and truly enjoy it. So do the best you can. Stick with it. If it's something you really want to do, commit to it. Stay with it.